Hello, everybody, and welcome. It is a 2024 review, and I am joining, Deuscain.
Oh,
Woo!
and I am joined by no longer Dan the Draconian, Dan the Draco King VT. I had to learn that a few times when I tried to shout me out.
Yes, it's because it is. Oh my gosh, what is it? It's one month and 17 days until the debut. So
Nice. Congratulations.
thank you. Things are getting really nerve-wracking over here. So yeah,
It'll go fine. I'm sure.
sure
Yeah.
there'll be some scuff, but it's okay.
Oh yeah, it's VTubing. There's always stuff. But yeah, we're gonna go through our list of drama and things from the latter section of 2024. Some of our greatest hits overall for the year. Some of the things we liked. Some of the things we didn't like. We're gonna try and keep it mostly cheerful when we can. But otherwise, yeah.
Yes, as cheerful as possible. Although this year has not exactly been a year for cheer, but
Yeah, why don't we start with that? So I broached the topic to Dan earlier, in which I said there's a lot of people earlier this year who were jumping on the bandwagon saying Twitch hates VTubers. And as we got later and later into the year, I began to formulate an opposing theory, which is not that Twitch hates VTubers, it's that 2024 hates VTubers. Because this year we've had what? The complete disintegration of Niji Sanji's reputation and the loss of several of their best talents. To going indie and also just getting out of that place. We had Twitch really ratcheting up the moderation this year, especially for darn right, Robbie, it's the Dan show. Ratcheting up the moderation for VTubers and VTubers streaming attire.
yeah.
Which is a thing that they have not really like. I saw them doing a little bit previously, but they really weren't. They didn't really moderate it much. Like it was on the rulebooks, but they didn't moderate much until this year, kind of seemingly out of nowhere. And then here in the last month or so, we've got a bunch more HoloLive talents, some of which seem to be graduating on favorable terms and might come back. Some of which just straight up, I'm graduating and leaving.
Yes.
Which, yeah, that is so bad that, and that community is so freaked out. Literally, as I was watching news about one of the more recent graduates, I was looking through threads on Twitter about it, and one person's like, screw it, I don't care anymore. Here's everybody's past lives and where to find them. I'm like, damn. It's like VTuber ethics 101. You don't say that. Somebody's like, hey, can you mention the Indonesia ones too? Sure, here's all that. I'm like, oh my god.
Wait, I missed that bit.
Yeah, so Fauna is fully graduating.
I know about Fauna graduating, but I didn't know someone had leaked
like,
all of that info. What the hell?
Yeah, like that's how wired and freaked out that community is about losing these VTubers and losing these members. Cause yeah, they were real freaked out and wired. So yeah, not a great year for VTubing. Bunch of indie studios also went under this year. What were there? I know EN Project went under because that was one I was familiar with. Revelry, I think was another one I heard. There's a bunch of like smaller VTuber companies that didn't make it through this year. Like just things got tight and money got tight and they closed doors, which is a shame. For all those talents. I'm happy for those that got to keep their IPs and stuff, but some of them are just leaving and starting fresh for a number of reasons.
Well, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, the one of the independent companies did close, but they did allow their talents to keep their individual personalities and everything. And the
It varies on the
models.
company. For EM Project, they let some of them keep it, but they charge them for it. It sounded like, and based on what the VTubers were saying afterwards, different ones got different deals, and there seemed to be some favoritism going on. And some people basically would just charge so much, told they had to pay so much to keep the model, they essentially had to make a whole new IP. They couldn't do it. There's some major drama with that one going on. I don't want to go into it too much because I know that community is kind of very over the drama, but yeah, it's a lot this year. So yeah, love your Yoshi while you can, folks. Take care of him, treat him nice, treasure the time you have together, because no one knows how long this.
I don't think we're going anywhere though.
I'm probably not, but that being said, like, to anybody else who does have another Oshi out there, like, yeah, show them some love.
Absolutely. Yeah, do show them some love. Hi Mars, thank you for the stream.
Yay, streak.
Oh. Last month or two has been a rollercoaster of graduation and hiatus announcements from both big names and small indies. Autumn and winter is usually bad, but I do get the impression that market saturation and burnout are clearly starting to show. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Especially in terms of burnout and the market saturation. Like, you find VTubers everywhere these days.
Yeah. And I think some of it is expectations from business in general, like, because that's the thing I've noticed with a couple of these major cancellations is the people that leave do very successfully in the indie scene because that is a lot more artistic, it's a lot more bohemian with how things get done. But when you're in a corporate scene, it is a lot of type A people trying to get type B people, type A business people getting type B art people to work together. And unless you have somebody that can really smooth that communication and some good middle managers to basically tell the VTubers, listen, I know you don't want to do this way, but you have to for reasons, and these are the reasons, and please do it. And telling the business people, listen, you shut the fuck up and you don't put pressure on these people. They are printing money for you. Leave them alone. Oh, they could print more money. No. Go away. Like, you need somebody in the middle that has enough of a backbone and a personality that can balance those two sides and make both of them happy.
Yeah,
and I think there's a lot of pressure coming from the business side, because I think I heard something about like HoloLive, not like their old manager not fully being in control of the company anymore, and that might be part of why this stuff's happening, is because like they're getting a push to go more in a different direction, and that's why some of them are leaving. Like Fauna, I think explicitly mentioned like it's a management disagreement.
Yes,
they're going in a direction and she doesn't want to go that way, and so she's leaving, which is great for her. Like, the fact that she can do that and she's able to do that, and the things I saw about people drawing attention to her past life account, people are finding her again already, and she's not going to have to scrap up from zero again, which is the same thing that happened, or same thing that was avoided with Doki. Doki was very, very, very vocal about, hey, I was this person, fuck the NDA, come find me again. So I don't get the impression with Fauna so far. There's very little that has been shown. But nothing sounds like it's anywhere near as bad as what was going on with Doki. But yeah, this year, how I'm trying to get the names right, so I don't cross the names. Doki went indie, Mint Phantom went indie.
Yes.
We've had like 4 HoloLive people either go indie or step back from content creation with them. Because yeah, it is very demanding of them on that side of things to work. And after a certain level of success, like, it really almost does make more sense to go indie again, because you need a certain level of success to get into corporate VTubing, and once you're in there and you build up a reputation there, it makes sense to leave and take those people with you, because yeah, you get rid of the middleman, you get rid of all those company people, because that's the thing, like with any kind of VTubing company, like, you're not just paying for the big corporate CEO people that we all like to shake our finger at and say, screw you, you greedy son of a bitch. You're also paying for the HR team, you're paying for the accountants, you're paying for the middle managers, you're paying for
Yes.
everybody in that chain of subs, which is why the companies take such a big cut. But if you're big and famous and you're a successful VTuber, it makes sense to leave, cut out that middleman, and even if you don't pull over 100% of your audience that you had at that time, if you're pulling 50% over, that's still a huge bump for whatever project you're doing next.
Yeah, and I do feel that maybe a part of going quickly back to Fauna's announcement, a lot of the Fauna community have speculated that it is because of HoloLive entering the private domain and being able to be, or is it the public domain, so that people could be like shareholders, and be like trustees and things, and have a say in like how the company runs. And it's now become more of, well, I should say less of an entertainment company and more of a money making company, because obviously those people who have invested in want to get their money's worth back and more.
And that's a thing I've seen as a criticism across the board for a lot of things, like game design companies, where they can make something good, but like it can't turn around a 300% return on investment, so they close it.
Yeah,
and that's the expectation from investors. Which, anything going public these days, like a publicly traded company, is a pretty bad sign for what's going to happen, because investors just don't care. They don't care about VTubing culture and VTubing community and actually doing good entertainment. That is the conveyor belt of content that is meant to print them money, and that's all they care about. And it sucks.
It does. It really does.
Oh,
and it causes a lot of heartbreak. So
it does, because people have these perspectives of these companies, and it's, how could I say this? To anybody who's thinking about getting into VTube corporate work, it should never be your end goal. It should always be like, this is the next step in my career. I'm not going to join HoloLive and be there forever. I'm going to join HoloLive. It's going to help me grow. I'm going to help them grow. And when it's the right time, we're going to part ways. Because even in real life, you don't join a company forever anymore. Like, gone are the days when like you've been working at the factory for 40 years. Like, the factory does not respect people who do that anymore. And no one does that. You basically, it's to your benefit to jump around a lot in these spaces. In any space really these days. So yeah, I'm wishing them all a good tenure with whoever they're working with, and a massive boon and success
I think
when they leave.
Thirsty. Oh, we have a hydrate.
It's just in both of ours too.
Me hastily looking around for my water.
Your water you should have, yes.
Yes, I do. I got two vessels of water. One's a big mug and the other one's a bottle. So I am all set for all the talking. Thanks, Evie.
Yeah. Thank you, Evie. But yeah, in the topic of VTubing and stuff, I think a lot of the more corpo-minded places are probably going to start closing more next year. I think this is the start of something bigger, because I saw people make speculation about which HoloLive people are going to kind of be stuck there for a while because of contracts, but as soon as they can get out, they might.
Who would that be then, if we're happy to share names?
I think Callie was one of the ones they mentioned, because like the company
to
like move to Japan and live there, and with them sponsoring her visa in the country, she can't quit, otherwise she has to leave the country.
Yeah.
So like in that instance, like she's kind of stuck there unless it gets bad enough that she really is just like, you know what, fine, I'm leaving Japan. Oh god, I've been muted on my end this whole time.
No way.
20 minutes. Yeah, I mute myself during my earlier thing, and I don't open it up. So hi everybody on my stream. You've missed a lovely discussion about corpo VTubership and the problems with publicly traded companies and late stage capitalism. Nothing you didn't already know.
Stuff we occasionally regularly talk about here.
But yeah, so it's been a rough year. 2024 has been a rough year for VTubing. A lot of the indies aren't able to keep up with the corpos, and what all goes on there because the corpos kind of have this really big stage and presentation, so people feel like they have to act at that level, but they can't. And trying to keep up with the Benjamins is bankrupting them.
Yes.
So Nova here says they used to watch All Live back when it was new in 2020. It was amazing. Hunting was fresh, unique, and entertaining, but time went on. It slowly switched it from being a fun community to a product, and that's when the mystique died for me. I won't deny the idols are talented, but I can no longer feel the magic I used to see before. I feel like that a lot with VTubing. Like there's a point where somebody has kind of figured out not the speedrun strap, but like how to game the system to get to a certain level of success, and then yeah, it at that point you are doing all the things that everybody does, and it is very cookie cutter, and the magic isn't there. They aren't themselves anymore. They are a product. Because I've seen that with like people come out with like guides. There were some people trying to sell guides earlier this year, and people pushing back against that by just offering free guides. But I've seen a few of that over the years where just like people talk about like come up with your idea for your brand or for this, and it's all just like it feels less like artistic people doing stuff and more like people with marketing majors trying to do stuff in the entertainment field.
You can't. Evie says they can't follow a lot of VTubers because of the VTuber voice a lot of corporate VTubers have. My brain is floundering. Would you be able to explain a little bit more, Evie?
You mean like the particular way that they modulate their voice and like how they all sound very similar, that like high pitched thing, Evie? Is that what you're going for? So Ravi said, was curious why I only heard one side. Yeah, Ravi, it is more audio scuff issues on my end. I was muted the whole time. That's my fault. The high pitch happy all the time fake voice. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and that's the thing that I've heard a few people talk about. There was one of VODs talents did a short talking about it. VODs being a company that is VODs is not. They are not safe for work voice actresses doing a VTuber company. There's a bit of a story behind it. I won't go into it too much, but I did follow some of them on YouTube for a little bit. And one of their talents did step forward and comment that, like, yeah, people like the kind of like higher pitched voice, but when everybody's doing it, it's very samey. You have a high pitched voice, you can tell it's fake. Yeah, exactly. Like they are trying to sound a certain way to be cute, which is a shame because I think there's a lot of like when you hear some of them break that character and talk in the regular voice, it's amazing. Like I saw the thing where Snuffy Uwu came out with her real voice initially, because her initial voice, Snuffy, was the same like fake high-pitched voice that Evie says they don't like, and then she started using her real voice. It's like, oh, this is amazing. You have this lovely deep voice. It's so good. That VODs talent was the same way. Like she was talking about how like she has this cute voice she uses for her character, which is a cutesy character, and her real voice wouldn't work for it. And that company is also very much like they made the characters and they hired people for the roles. So it's not that people weren't really doing their own model and design. But then she actually like spoke in her real voice. I'm like, oh, I like her real voice. I wish she did that more. But yeah, that is definitely a thing with corpo where, yeah, if you're going into a corporate job, it isn't who you want to be. It's not your character. It's the character they made that you are embodying. Sometimes you have a person whose natural voice is a good fit for it. Doki is a great example. Doki didn't change her voice one way or the other. Doki sounds exactly now as she did in her corpo job. So that's a case where she was a good fit naturally. But otherwise, yeah, a lot of them will pitch it up or try and sound cutesy, and they don't get to be themselves because that's not what the corporation wants them to be, and that's not what they applied for. They applied for an entertainer role pretending to be a certain type of person, and that's what they got hired to do. And I think that's also part of the reason behind burnout, just having to put up that facade all the time for so long.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, that even happens in the indie space, because like we were saying, like indie people,
it does. Like I
feel like they have to match that kind of corporate level because it is successful, but then they put on such a presence and put on such a fakeness that like it's really hard to make a genuine connection.
So I want to jump in with like a bit of a personal experience myself here. So I used to hold myself to those kind of standards of trying to meet the level of, I guess, expectations and goals that the corporate scene has. And this was about, I'd say maybe 7-8 months ago. I was trying to push everywhere, advertise everywhere as much as I could. I was pushing my energy levels to the limit. Streaming became, in essence, a chore rather than something I enjoyed back then. And I had to take a short break and step back. But it kind of coincided really well because I had a holiday in May as well. So I went on that personal holiday abroad, and then that allowed me the space and time to be able to reflect.
I think you thirsty.
Hi, Gengar. Thanks for the hydrate.
You're such a good little dragon,
Welcome
Daddy.
in. Thanks, Mas, for the redeem.
Also, sorry, I don't know why I capitalized both G's in your name. I think I'm breathing on autopilot today. But yes, you went on your vacation because you felt burned out. Continue, please.
So yeah, I took that as some time to basically scroll through social media, but not really post much, as a way to just gauge what I enjoyed from it all. And that allowed me to come back stronger than ever, rather than, if I hadn't have done that, if I hadn't taken that break, I could have, I might not have continued myself. Who knows?
Yeah, fair. There is a point for burnout where it's kind of like the difference between straining a muscle or like straining or fracturing a muscle versus breaking it. And full on like a burnout blow up that you broke that muscle. You broke that bone, and you're more like strained. And I actually had a bit of a similar experience earlier this year as well, because I kind of got to sometime I think this summer, and I'm like, I don't think I've taken a break in the last couple years of VTubing. So I'm made myself make a promise to myself that I was going to take a week off every season to rest, relax, and recharge. It's also I did one in the right before autumn started, which I'm counting as my autumn break. That was essentially I'd finished all the games I was playing. I was getting ready to start the next batch of games, but some of them weren't out yet. I'm like, let me put this break period here so I can start at this time, and then I can start playing the games then in a week or in 2 weeks when some of them start releasing. Because that was when I started doing Bloomtown and Broken Sword, the Broken Sword remaster. And because I basically just finished all my games a week early. I'm like, rather than trying to find something to fill that time, I'm like, you know what, mini break.
Yeah,
it's my week off. And that's been good. I've been trying to decide when to take one for December, and I don't really want to take one now. I'm in kind of a good place, so this might happen a little later in winter for me. But yeah,
a winter break is always wise, because winter can be an especially tough time to get through seasonally. Things are darker, earlier, and for longer. That can bring along, its own effects on mental health. People are pushing out fundraisers left and right, trying to get as much viewership as possible through Christmas events. The saturation kind of goes through the roof, and then you get to January 4th, 5th, and everything just dips straight down, kind of like a roller coaster. And that can hit especially hard as well. Gotta take breaks. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Dan, take a break this winter, please. Thank you.
I will. It is on my schedule. I will get to it eventually. Nova here. A few years ago, streamer saying this: if you keep pushing hard on the things you do, disregarding your own well-being, you'll end up hating the same things you used to love. Yeah, exactly. That's true. That kind of made you understand we have limits. Nova, who keeps telling streamers to take breaks, comes from there because you saw many streamers burning up because they didn't understand the limits. Exactly. I had a theory I've been working on this year that essentially the skills someone needs to have to build a community in this space are not the same skills they need to maintain a community or operate at the high levels. Because yeah, low levels, it makes sense. Like, yeah, rush, push, lots of videos, get it done. And then you finally make it. You finally have your break. But no one's gonna have that happen and go, okay, now's the time to ease back on video production and do less. No, your brain tricks you. It's like, okay, we were working at 110% now we need to do 130%. And you lie to yourself and tell you need to do that, and then you just burn the fuck out, because what you needed to do was dial it back to 80 or 90% to rest after doing that, and you didn't, and you don't, because you it's hard to convince people, especially with as many people in the VTubing space, from the stories I've heard that come in from a place of financial insecurity, and like this is how they're trying to make a living, and it's real hard to convince somebody like that now when they finally got their break that they need to stop pushing so hard, because it's just like there are people that I've known that have done streaming that like they've done very well, but then trying to convince them to stop, they just have this terror that like the momentum will drop and they will be back in that bad place, back in that bad time, and they can't. They won't let themselves do that. And it does not compute. You will burn out. It might take a week, it might take a month, it might take a year, but it will happen. Exactly. Like there's a reason why normie jobs give you vacation. It's to use that vacation. They want you to use it. You will burn out at any job if you take no vacation. So do it.
Look after yourselves, please.
Yeah. But we kind of beat this topic to death a little bit. So let's talk about things we like this year, and I'm going to actually start us off with the topic. I am very happy that both you and I are currently in the season of Altus games. You are running through Metaphor Refantasio, a game which I still have not played. I
you mean
downloaded
Atlas?
the demo again.
You said Altus.
What?
You said Altus. It's Atlas, isn't
Altus
it?
is the... Altus? Let me check. My brain needs to know.
It's Atlas.
It is Atlas.
Yeah. Your brain really is just... Yeah.
A whittle dyslexic.
It's okay.
But Atlas Games. We were in our Atlas gaming arc with you with Metaphor Refantasio and me with Persona 5.
Yeah, we kind of...
Now I'm going to get to show you the fun thing that I've been keeping a whittle secret, because I don't think I've seen you around on some of my Persona 5 streams. I don't know if you've seen the other stuff I've shown, but I have new Persona 5 reactive images. And I just toggled one for you to see on your stream.
Oh my god! Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, it was really great because I did my first stream for Persona 5 with just my normal background and all that stuff, and I'm like, yeah, let me go switch over to the game screen. Hey, what's this button do? Whole new set of overlays, whole new chat window. I kept all of it fucking secret, and I popped over on this, and then I was playing through the beginning of the game, and then I get my persona for Joker, and I'm like, boy howdy, it would really be a great thing if I also had a reactive image for my persona character when they're in combat.
Oh.
So here's what that one looks like. And this was my Halloween image this year.
I see that every time you put the VODs up.
Yeah, the VODs are up. The first VOD has my normal PNG model. Every VOD after that has the vampire persona one that I have. Because yeah, the reference images were like a whole bunch of vampire stuff.
Boy, I think
hydration
you're
reminder.
thirsty.
But yeah.
Me
So
hydrate.
yeah, I went a little bit ham with my persona prep, and I am so happy that I like the game, because I was... Take a break, Suit Dan. You shut the fuck up, Rob. Yeah,
Thanks for the head pass.
But no, I it's funny for me because I went into playing Persona 5 like, I really hope I like this game because I spent a bunch of money prepping for it. And I do, though I find what I like about the game entertaining, because I am firmly in the mindset now of, let me get all this story and RPG stuff done so I can go back and enjoy the skill leveling and the social link aspect of it. I am down for the social link aspect, and every time the game's like, okay, back to the plot, I am screaming and crying and cussing at it. It's just
Aw.
funny to me because it's the exact opposite of what I expected. But I'm like, no, let me go date my friends and play baseball.
Oh, dear.
It is entertaining to me.
I will go back to it. I didn't finish that playthrough, but I will go back to it, yeah.
Yeah, but I just finished the third palace in Persona 5, and we got the change of heart following it. So I'm starting the section right after that. Hey, Perry.
Hi, Perlin.
So yeah, I am like, I mean, there's a theme going on with this. I think I'm at 3 of 7 is what I theorize for the total number of palaces.
Okay.
Maybe there's a hidden. Yeah, because there's a. Have you played this before, or am I going to be spoiling something for you?
I played the original, but I've not finished Royal.
Okay, so I've noticed for a lot of the characters, especially in the palaces, when you're looking for those those skulls, what do they call them? Something cores.
Oh, seed, the will
Yeah, the seeds.
seeds, and
Yeah, the will seeds. They're all focused on a different one of the 7 deadly sins. So the guy who's running around with a whole bunch of like high school girls draped off of him in a like a swimming suit, he had the lust seeds. And then it was greed seeds, I think, for the artist who was selling other people's work. And then it was gluttony seeds for the third guy who was like a mobster who was just hungry for more money, wanted more and more and more. So with that being the case, there are 7 deadly sins. It stands to reason there's going to be 7 palaces, at least. With maybe some hidden 8th one that represents something else. At least that is my current acting theory. Nobody spoil this for me, because aside from aggressively looking up all of the answers for like social links and my school tests and things like that, because fuck it, I don't care, I will cheat that part. The main plot I do actually want to keep hidden. So
rightly so. It is a really good story to experience for the first time.
But, yeah. Who do you think is my confidant that I'm going after, Dan? I think we might have talked about this before, but I'm definitely gunning for a couple of people specifically.
Makoto, maybe? I'm not sure.
Makoto's high up on my list. I just got her as a party member, and I'm just like, oh yeah, no, I like her. She's good. I've been working on Makoto. Who else?
Is An one of the ones you're going after?
Actually, no, I did not go after Anne. Because I'm not really vibing with her. Like, she's not really my style. I'm still leveling her up a little bit, but not who I'm going after.
Who else is it then?
Awakami. Sorry, I like the teacher.
Oh no.
Yeah, I am an adult playing this game. I see no problem with this. Also, she gets you extra study sessions. That's amazing. I love that. Give me more time.
Yeah, her beneficial skills are better than a lot of people's. So
yeah, but yeah, those who have criticisms of her and her particular storyline, extremely valid. Because like I see the criticisms, and I'm just like, and we're gonna put those to the corner as we have the one character that dresses up like a maid. So I'm here for this. I do like my maids. So yeah, no, it's her. Before her, I was also working on Takemi, and I think the 2 of them plus Ryuji are my 3 highest ones. The teacher, darn right, the teacher, Ravi. So yeah, it's Takemi, Ryuji, and Kawakami are the 3 highest, with Makoto getting up there. You love forbidden romances, darn right I do, Ravi. It is a game. I'm not gonna play it like real life. I'm gonna play it and date the person I know I absolutely shouldn't.
terrible. That is so bad of you.
Yep. But look at these go fuck me eyes and my vampire persona. I mean, could you blame me?
No, I cannot.
Yeah. But no, so that's kind of who I'm going after for that. I don't know if I'm actually gonna go down the romance path for her, but I'm definitely like trying to max her out because she has that feature at the end where when you go into the metaverse, like she'll give you back your action in the evening instead of losing it.
Yeah.
So
Now,
this can be good.
as
Exactly, Evie.
for Metaphor, I don't believe it actually has a romance option. From what I've experienced so far, there's nothing in there hinting towards any kind of romanceable partner. It's very much just a case of I'm really enjoying the story. If I can, I would like to play a lot more during the following week. We can't date Hulkenberg. I don't think we can date Hulkenberg, I'm afraid, Evie. I wish we could, but she is like... I think we're 17, 18 years old, canonically. Hulkenberg is maybe like 10, 15 years above us. So it is... Yeah. We are a child. But then again, there's nothing that Atlas does say romance is a thing. So, you know, Persona 5.
Haven't gotten far enough to see that section of it, because you're going into this blind, right?
Yeah, I am. I don't believe there is. There have been a couple of times when I've been allowed to choose someone specifically to hang out with, and I've been given like an item that relates to them, but nothing that's like nothing like a date or romance or show interest in them. There's nothing about that. There's no heart mechanics. There's no like if you pick this option you start dating them. There's nothing about that at all.
Okay. So I did look it up.
Do not say a thing. Do not say anything.
Okay. I will remain silent then.
Thank you. I don't want to know.
Don't want to know.
No, I have to have it a secret.
But yeah, I would love to get into Metaphor. I actually bought Persona 3 Reload as well during this past Steam. They call it the Autumn Sale. It's really the Black Friday sale. I really wish they wouldn't. I wish they would just call it the Black Friday sale. Come on, guys. But anyway, so Persona 3 Reload is somewhere on my roster in the future, but I'm probably going to be jumping to Monster Hunter when Wilds comes out at the end of February.
I think a lot of people will be.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing a release weekend for that. I already got my leave request in for work.
Good for you. Good for you.
Heck yeah. Give me the time. Might as well use it.
Oh.
Hey.
Oh. Tango, thank you for the sub. Oh my gosh. Let me put a sticker down. Oh, 7 months.
Tango.
What's good, my dragon friend? What is good? I am...
Atlas games. Atlas games are good.
I am hungover. Not gonna lie. There was a Christmas work due last night, and I'm still recovering from that. I mentioned in my tweet, sorry, not tweet, blue post, that I am resting my foot. Or no, in my Discord, that I'm resting my foot. I ended up twisting my ankle pretty badly. It's very bruised and swollen, so I'm on crutches, resting it as much as I can. But other than that, I'm doing very well. Thank you, Tango. I hope you're well.
Yeah. Do you want to talk more about Metaphor, and then we'll switch over to like the Twitter Blue Sky news of 2024?
Sure. Yeah. So Metaphor, loving every single part of it. This game is already my game of the year. Or is it? I don't know. I want to kind of keep that stuff a secret because I want to kind of do like a presentation stream at some point about all of that stuff. But I want
Is
to
that just
do
gonna be
it.
a solo thing for Dan, or are you gonna bring other people in to have all of us discuss our games of the year? Or like, maybe a good collab thing.
I could do it bit by bit. January.
Or we could do the old American commercial tradition of porque los dos and do both.
I don't know what that means.
Porque los dos is Spanish. It means why not do both?
Oh.
It's like part of a Taco Bell commercial where like, do we get tacos or pizza? And this little girl like goes porque los dos, and they all like lift her up like he just said something amazing, groundbreaking, and then they go buy both.
Oh. Okay. American adverts, everybody.
Yep.
I don't know. I had really just thought about keeping it to myself, like to me, but I'm happy to like ask people what their game of the years are. I kind of want to wait until the Game Awards pass, just to see if there are any like, because then I can discuss like those results and my thoughts on that and turn it into one big stream kind of thing.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, I've done that with a friend in the past. I would be happy to do stuff with you for Game Awards to share our opinions and our complaints, because they are almost certainly going to be both.
Yeah, I think I'm currently tied in to do that with Asta. Okay. But that doesn't mean like we do a Dan and Dan. I think we'll do one in January, which I think will be good. Like kick off the new year in a good way. I'll discuss that with you more privately though. But like what we can do in January is discuss games of the year for 2024 and then talk about 2025 and what we anticipate. That kind of thing. I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
If you're up for a Dan and Dan next month.
Sure.
That'll be.
It is not Monster Hunter month yet. My schedule is still open and available.
Yeah,
Monster
when
Hunter
is
month
that?
is gonna be a
February,
whole
right?
lot of... End of February, so it's mostly gonna be March.
Okay.
Yeah, March is going to be a, unless you're playing Monster Hunter with me, it's not gonna collab. Yeah, I have a tendency to get a little obsessive about some games, and I'm assuming they fixed some of the beta issues that I had with Monster Hunter Wilds. I am gonna hit this like an obsession and not sleep very well for a couple of months. Cause I'm over 1,000 hours in World.
Well, try not to go too insane, if possible.
1,600 hours. I am 3.5 hours short of 1,600 hours in Monster Hunter World.
Wow.
So, yeah. I like it. I like it. The monster game.
You like hunting the beasties.
A hunter must hunt.
Well, what will be your weapon of choice then?
I like Lance, though I've kind of like moved out from that to be kind of a generalist. I like to adjust what I'm using based off of what I fight, but first love of my heart was Lance. So it was a little disappointing in the beta, but from what I hear, they're going to be tweaking it and updating it in a recent patch. That one, as well as the Switch Axe, they're buffing both of those. And Insect Glaive, for those Insect Glaive users, they're adding back the bounce playthrough. You can play aerial Insect Glaive now. It just wasn't in the beta, and people are like, no, it can't be gone. No, they're adding that back in, along with Hit Stop. So bigger, meatier chunks for hits.
That's good.
Yeah.
Not that I know what any of that means, but that sounds good.
Hit Stop is basically like when you hit them like a great sword. When you land that third hit for the great sword, you like hit them and it kind of sticks for a second and then moves through them. That is what they added back in, because basically they didn't have those like really kind of like cinematic moments of like you would just push through and do big damage.
Yeah.
So it was a lot more smooth in the beta, so they've added that back in. And been very specific, because people were really upset that was missing.
Oh. Did not know. Oh, sorry. I've just been reminded by my own Nightbot that I should give you a shout out for anyone who is not following. Deus, please do go follow. Dear friend and game aficionado, just like me.
Aha, I can shout you out too.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah.
you. But yeah. What was next on your list of discussion topics?
All right. Well, we did a bad, then we did a good, so we should do a bad again. Let's talk about Twitter, or whatever's left of Twitter. This has not been a good year for Twitter.
I call it shitter, but sure.
Yeah, I mean, for a while I was referring to the owner of Twitter as Stinky because of his last name, but yeah, he went and pissed people off real good, and they ran away to Blue Sky. At least some of them did, and it's interesting because it's happened before, and he's done that a few times. He gets so many art skins on Twitter. Yeah, unfortunately. Actually, I know why that happens too. I'll get to that in a sec. But it's happened a few times when Blue Sky was in different stages of development, and
Yeah,
what's interesting is every time it happens, there's more people that go over, and there's more people that stay permanently. I also have an ad break starting in about 10 seconds from me, so it'll be what it is. Because we're not going to stop a chatting collab for 3 minutes for me, and then 3 minutes for you in a little bit.
No, I can run one early.
Yeah. But
Let's run one early. So, let's challenge. When does yours start?
It's starting right now.
Oh, okay. We'll be back after these messages, everybody.
These messages.
And we're back. Thank you so much for waiting.
We have
everyone.
returned.
Thanks,
And I
Evie,
have
for doing that
unmuted.
redeem.
I have correctly unmuted.
You changed back to yourself. I thought you were going to keep your persona
I can if you'd
reactive
like.
up. It's so cool.
Which one did you like more? The like one that looks like I'm an NPC in the game, or the vampire
The NPC one. The NPC one. Because I have my own NPC one, don't I? As you've seen. So I really like that. Just that style as well.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I can pass you that artist's name because I just got a ping from them in an email that VGen, their VGen profile is opened up. So I remember marketing for you.
Oh, that'd be good. Yeah, and when I get back into that. Well, actually, when I eventually get back into it, I'll be live 2Dber then. So there might be actual assets I can stick onto myself. Who knows? The possibilities are endless.
Yeah,
we were just getting into shitter,
Twitter,
weren't we?
Yeah.
I hope it's okay if I swear and call it that.
That's fine.
I can't call it anything else, honestly.
Yeah. So we started chatting a little bit about this during the break, and I was quick to shut us down, like save it for the stream. But you were mentioning about how different it is on Blue Sky, how it's you don't get your post punished for using links or a lot of hashtags or things like that. Somebody commented about there being so many art bots and scams. A lot of the accounts that follow them are clear scams. Yeah. So there's been a bunch of things. All of it kind of just going back to the guy who owns the place. I said earlier I would mention why that was happening with the bot accounts and the scam accounts and things like that. Actually, that's a thing I found out when I was researching alternate versions of TweetDeck, which is an old Twitter tool that I used to use where you could set things up in columns and look at a lot of things at once. I love the tool. It used to be free. Now it's part of the premium subscription on Twitter. And they're calling it X Premium. It's the beta version of TweetDeck that they had before. It's an amazing tool. If somebody's actually paying money for Twitter Blue for other reasons, I have a whole VOD on like how to set up TweetDeck to make it amazing. I strongly recommend that to anybody who wants to check it out. But but while I was looking up information on other TweetDecks to use for Twitter, because I didn't want to pay him money if possible, I found out that he had changed the pricing for the application programmer interface. Basically, what you need to pay to code things that interact with Twitter. Essentially, there are no TweetDeck alternatives because the fee for something at that level is so high, it shuts down the possibility of anybody doing it because it's like 50 grand a month or something crazy like that.
Jesus.
And the reason why the bots are so cheap or so around is the level for setting up bots and things like that is super cheap. So they can make these fake bot accounts super cheap, which is why there are so many of them. Because he changed the pricing on the programming interface and he got rid of most of the staff of his company. So like the moderation team isn't around to squash this stuff the way that they could have done it in the past. And these are paying accounts that the people pay for an account to make these things to just spam people with links. That's why there's so much of it, is because just he made it super cheap and easy to do that for people that have the knowledge. And it might only be like 10 people that are behind most of these accounts, because even when they were doing like the adult content accounts, I'm gonna be honest, I look at some of that stuff in my private time, and it's so funny to me when like I get a fake account following me and like, oh, would you like to follow, Betty here? I'm like, that ain't Betty. Bullshit. Her name is Susan. I followed her account for years. That's Susan. Why the fuck are you passing Susan off as Betty? You pieces of shit, you. And it's funny to me when that would happen. I don't notice it with everything, but there were a few that I'm like, hey, wait a minute. I know that person.
I
will not go into details of that side of my life, and I'll keep it PG from here on out. But it's funny.
I want to jump in as well on that and say that when the changes happened to Twitter, the API changes that broke all of the backdoors, basically. So all of those bots on Discord that would transpose everyone's tweets and posts and everything over to Discord automatically, all of those broke. And still to this day, there is no bot that can be made to connect to X because of the backend API being basically removed.
Yeah, well,
and that's so
do see a few
annoying.
that have like those synchronized account things that are around, but none of them are free because they can't be anymore because they need to make back that API money.
Yeah.
But Evie says, no joke, I used to get DMs of repost accounts saying that they were an artist and commissions were open, but the only examples they had were stolen and they wouldn't take no for an answer. Yeah, I just block them. Yeah, I got one the other day. This is actually a funny interaction. There was some VTuber that's just like, hey, share pictures of your model for like either an event or something they were doing, and so I shared a couple of images of mine, all run through Glaze and Nightshade, of course, because we fuck AI people. That's a whole different story. But somebody saw that and replied, "Oh, I really like your character. What's their name?" In a response to a post that's like, "Hey, share your VTuber model," and they're like, "Oh, what's their name?" I'm like, "It's me. It's my model. It's my name." Oh, cool. I like that a lot. Thank you. Oh, would you give me a follow back? Sorry, I don't do follow for follow. Okay, I'll just DM you. I'm like, I see where this is going. I knew where this was going right from the start.
Yeah.
Oh my god. And it's funny how obvious some of them are. And you know there'd have to be some people falling for it because like they keep doing it. Like I don't think they're doing it just to annoy everybody. They're making some money from it, but
sadly so. I mean, I when here's a little thing that nobody really knows. When I started out, I actually fell for that. I did. I fell for one of them. One of those little scams in that I, put out there asking for commissions back when I was a little babby, and there was someone and they did make something and I didn't like it, but when I asked them if they could change some things, they wanted more money for me to be able to do that. And that's when I realized this is a scam. This isn't a real person. They're in this just for the money. They're not passionate about this at all. Yeah, and it was heartbreaking. Like that was a piece of art that I eventually did use in my PNGTuber Plus debut. As like an image for one of my brothers instead of me. And if you go back and look at that VOD from many months ago, you'll know which one I'm talking about. But yeah, it's demoralizing, and you kind of lose trust in other people, and that sucks because I hate losing trust in anyone really. Like maybe I trust too much, maybe I'm just too kind, but like I want to believe that people are good or can be good.
Yeah, and then generally that's kind of an interesting segue point. Like generally people are, but there's a term in I think it's psychology called like negative cognitive bias, which is essentially like you might have a day that you feel like is a terrible day, but it's not like 100% bad. It's just like out of 100 things that happened, 1 or 2 or 3 things were bad, and they might have been very bad, but it just ruins the rest of your day. But it wasn't a bad day. Like on the whole, on the average, it's a good day. But just the negatives stand out a lot more.
Yeah.
And I've had a lot of genuine interactions with people on Twitter, like good interactions. And part of the reason I'm still on it, I haven't deleted my account like many of the others have, because I see them in a report I get every week of like people like unfollow this thing. And for a while, a lot of them are just like deactivated by user, deactivated by user, deactivated by user. Like, yeah, I know what this is about.
Yeah.
It's like I've made genuine connections with people and I don't want to let that go. Part of me is always going to go down with Twitter as a ship. Like I'm unless they're like you have to pay money to use the platform, which would be the death knell.
It would.
I'm gonna effectively stay there. But definitely yeah, it sucks. And the fact that AI art is so prominent now, it's hard for people to even do that. Which was what makes some of these fucking bots so bad, because they're not even trying to scam you with good AI art, like things that like look reasonably good. It's like shitty old deviant art from like somebody's like from like a 14-year-old they stole off of DeviantArt. It's not like in the case of some of them, like some of it's so bad and so obvious, like you stole this. You absolutely stole this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it sucks and it's bad. And you know, I kind of sent you a couple links earlier, Dan. There's a big thing that started just actually in the last few days that Twitch is doing this holiday hoopla thing with shared chats and discoverability and all this stuff here, and they have this cat in the chat emote that they shared, and everybody's like, that thing looks AI art as fuck. And the fact that Twitch did not disclose that in any way, shape, or form had people really up in arms. But I gotta say, during our break, I noticed the best fucking sass I've seen in a while, which is the Twitter account for VGen, quote retweeting Twitch and adding Twitch support and adding the CEO of Twitch, saying, hey Twitch, if you'd like to right this wrong within the creative community, we'd be happy to help. We're one of the world's largest no AI creative community platforms and the birthplace of many VTubers on your platform. We can host a contest or a place that you do. They're fucking upselling Twitch publicly about their shitty AI art, and I love it.
As they should. Evie's just said something. To be honest, I don't use Blue Sky. I mainly look at art on Tumblr. An app I avoided for so long because of its reputation, but I found it relaxing.
Yeah, vintage Tumblr was good. Like I was on Tumblr back in like the early 20-teens, like late 2000s, early 20-teens. Vintage Tumblr's great. Like there's a reason that app was as popular as it is, and they mostly run their place well. They did have a problem with NSFW content on it, which is part of the reason why they jettisoned it off the platform.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it is a good platform for people who are looking for something a little more visual than Twitter. Really, the big kind of things that I'm hoping for Blue Sky, because I was on it for a while now. I was on it for like a year before things happened, which is funny because like so many people jumped over and like, oh my god, this isn't here, this is messing. Oh my god, videos are so bad. I'm like, man, 2 months ago we didn't have videos. Trust me, it gets better. Like I was on it before they had a media tab, Dan, and the first draft of the media tab included not only things you posted, not only things that were in your replies, it also included things you retweeted. So media tabs are full of all other people's artwork. I'm like, wait, what? And they fixed that right away.
Oh.
Got Tumblr this year and I found so many cool people on it. Great, that's fantastic, Evie. I found a lot of cool people through Tumblr too. Yeah, Tumblr and Twitter in like the early 2000s and late 2000s, early 20-teens were absolutely my jam, and that's mostly what I've stuck with, like those kinds of experiences. Really, the one thing that kind of shows me, because I've heard some people talk about horror stories on Twitter about the bad experience they've had, and every last one of them, when I start talking to them about it, I'm like, oh, you're on the For You tab. You are 100% on the For You tab. And there's so many people that leave it on the default. And if you customize it, if you tweak it, if you actually use the tools and features in it, you can still have a good experience on Twitter, even in the current environment. But so many people just stick with that stupid default For You tab and never leave it, and that's why it sucks. It's not even that the platform is bad, which it is, but so many people just don't make any changes and just use the default and just eat the slop that they're fed, that it's so depressing. Because there is a genuine good experience even on current Twitter, but so many people don't use it.
I've managed to customize my Blue Sky, which is nice.
Yeah,
it only shows me posts from mutuals now, which is actually really nice to see.
Yeah, I have that list as well. That moderation list or whatever. What do they call it? Is it a list or is it? No, it's a feed. That's the
feed. That's it.
Need to figure out how to use Blue Sky. I would probably make a stream about that at some point, Evie, because there's a lot of really cool features about Blue Sky with their way they do lists and feeds. It's great. I actually did find, because the API isn't bullshit, I did find a couple of TweetDeck alternatives for Blue Sky, including one that is literally just called Blue Deck. And there's like one thing I want to change about that, but otherwise it's great. It even fixes one major issue I have with the rest of Blue Sky, which is they won't automatically update whatever feed you're on. If you're in your notifications, you usually have to refresh or click a button at the bottom to refresh notifications. It doesn't happen automatically. Blue Deck does that, and I love it. It's amazing.
So I still haven't found something that I'm comfortable using on like with Blue Sky over onto Discord. Mods and I, I should say my mod Sophie and I, we're waiting to see if a Discord bot is created for Blue Sky that does everything, and if not, then Sophie may just code one herself, but we'll see what happens over the next few months.
I have a friend that has one that works that way, but that might be something they coded specifically. I can talk to her about it though, and see if she has any suggestions or something like that.
Yeah.
Let me add that to a to-do list here. That's on my... Nope, we're not saving that. It's just sitting in Notepad. Sit there quietly, patiently. Anyway, funny thing is, I found people off Tumblr on Blue Sky. Yeah, like people cross-post all the time now. That's the thing. Like that's really what you have to do in any space, and it's just a matter of like what sites you like and what ones you enjoy using, and also just which ones you're tolerating. Because that was kind of me for a while. For because one thing that I've changed this year, I'm no longer doing like short-form content. Because I was working on a lot this year. You saw me post like shorts and stuff, hopefully saw them, to Twitter and to Blue Sky, and I stopped because they didn't go anywhere. They didn't do anything. Because I was also cross-posting them to YouTube. I was cross-posting them to TikTok. They never got above like 300 views on TikTok, and the last like dozen that I posted there got zero, literally zero.
So I used a cross post as well. I used to use this website called Buffer, which would allow you to connect up to 4 social media accounts for free, and allow you. Oh, okay. Well, for anyone who doesn't,
you can explain it for the community. Yes,
yeah.
Keep going. But
For anyone who doesn't, you can connect up to 4 social media accounts for free, and like literally post the exact same thing onto the other one, or even edit and remove. It can put in custom URLs as well, so that places such as like Twitter don't pick them up as easily. But I've stopped doing that because I've realized that being on Twitter, whilst abundantly nice because of the friends there, it's not bringing me joy anymore being on there. So I actually did post earlier this month or late November about how I'm gonna be slowly shutting down my Twitter, and it will eventually just become like an advert page for my Blue Sky, like redirecting people to go there.
Yeah, like it's good if you're just posting content and sharing that there. Like I think that's a good use for current Twitter, unless you're moderating stuff.
The Buffer.
But yeah, I actually used something similar to Buffer. I did look at Buffer at one point, but it didn't have quite the feature I was looking for. I used something called Fetica, which does a similar thing. You can cross-post and schedule tweets, videos, things like that to Blue Sky and all those things. Oh,
there you go, Edie.
Midnight. Of course, you have Valhalla emotes. Of course, you do. But yeah, actually, with me not really utilizing the features and stuff, because I'm just taking a step back from doing short form video content creation until I kind of figure out a bit more of what I want to do. It didn't make much sense for me to keep paying for Fetica, so I actually canceled my subscription there just because it doesn't make as much sense. And then for other stuff I'm using, Yeah, like I'm primarily using Twitter and Blue Sky these days. I used to post more shorts and stuff to YouTube. I'm just doing VODs currently. I'm not putting anything on TikTok. I used to put some stuff on Instagram, but all I got were follows from bot accounts. I don't know how to work the algorithm over there effectively, so no one was seeing my stuff.
Yeah.
And that's very defeating. Hello, following you now. Yeah, I really. It's funny, Midnight. I was following you on Twitter for so long, and Blue Sky too, and then I think I popped into one of your streams like, oh shit, I'm not following Midnight.
No,
Said
welcome,
Valhalla. Wouldn't be me if I didn't. Yeah, exactly. I feel you. So yeah, no, there are good features to each of the platforms and good things to each of the platforms. Because Blue Sky doesn't have a lot of like the trending stuff, I miss out on a lot of news and things like that. That's how I found out about things in the VTuber space, and so Twitter is still kind of where I go for that. Like I scroll through a lot of crap. I'm like, don't care about this, don't care about this, don't care about this. Oh hey, Twitch emotes are in trouble now. Yeah, that's a good story. I'm interested in that. Blue Sky doesn't really have something like that, which is good because it doesn't algorithmically show you crap. You use both TikTok, you just post clips of your streams. Yeah, I used to do that too, Midnight. But yeah, it's just they didn't perform, and it was time, it was effort, and it was just stress on myself to produce that and to be up with those productions that I didn't get anything from it. And a lot of the stuff I was posting towards the end too were like visual novel clips, which I like, and they're good scenes from the games. They're opportunities where I was kind of showing my chops with voice acting, and they got nothing, absolutely nothing.
Yeah, it's hard to tell what's gonna do well and what isn't though. There's nothing like even on Twitch itself. There's nothing that specifically says. Well, okay, so a little insider stuff for the community is that the Twitch dashboard generally recommends you look at what's like hype right now in the top 10 categories or something, and that's how you should base your content, is off of that. Which I completely disagree with. You know how I feel, everyone. I play whatever the heck I want to play. It's my life. I'm not gonna freaking bend my back trying to be the camel for Twitch to sit upon. You know what I mean? So but that is something that Twitch dashboard they try and do every week or so, is like, here's what's popular on Twitch now, and it's like, ugh, I don't care.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah, like even when something's popular, it doesn't necessarily mean I'll watch it. Minecraft's extremely popular, but I don't watch or play it. It's just not something that interests me most of the time. So, but then again, I'm gonna be jumping right into Monster Hunter in
Boy, I
months,
think
so
you thirsty.
that is absolutely gonna
hydrate. Thank you.
be something. So yeah, I'm absolutely gonna be in that trend. But yeah, I mean that's again where I see people talk about marketing and things, because I saw somebody talk about like a video where people were talking about like how to grow, and like their example was like, yeah, you're gonna stream overnight, you're gonna stream in like the late hours. And like, when do you do it? Take one of those big categories and find a dip here when somebody might be leaving a big person stream, but they still want to watch more of this category, and stream then. And I'm like, that's good advice if all you care about is growing and the numbers. It's terrible advice if you want to actually view this as like a creative space or a place like to express what you like and enjoy. Like, there's too many people who just try and game the system, and it's very easy to do it. It is a math-based system. You can game those, no matter how good of a system it is. You can find the numbers and the algorithm and game it. It's so exhausting though to do that all the time, and they're the people that rise in those environments are just full-on sociopaths. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to rise in that situation. I would rather boost smaller or mid-sized streamers and just find good people and grow together and build a space that is more artistic and bohemian and less an artificial version of that. Like what you were saying earlier. Like, yeah, like try to get people to be themselves and talk about what they like about. Because there's always a niche for it. Like there's a couple streamers I follow that all they do is Gunpla. They do mech and Gunpla stuff because that's what they love. And I'm like, I love this for you. I love this for you too. They're actually a couple. They're a couple that do mech and Gunpla stuff. Like,
oh,
yeah.
That's adorable.
Yeah. Well, they're two different channels, but they are very obviously, like, they're a couple. They're very public about it. But yeah, they're great people. They're nice. So yeah, a lot of the transition from Twitter to Blue Sky has been a networking period for me, which is I've been so tired.
Networking can be exhausting.
Yeah, but I've followed a lot of new people. I've found a lot of new people, and I've made a lot of good social connections with people. Some of it might turn into streaming opportunities. Some of it might not. Some of it's just going to be like, yeah, I just found new people to look at on socials and encourage. Everything to do when you're bored in Twitch is pop up a small streamers chat with non-viewers and say hi, because you can find some interesting people that way. Exactly. I found a person this fall, a streamer by the name of Vexing Cat, who's doing reading and writing streams. She was reading, was it Dracula or is it? I know she did the portrait of Dorian Gray. Oh, she was doing Sense and Sensibility, I think. But she just reads old public access books. Fantastic voice, very good model, and we started chatting more, and we're friends now. Just because I caught her on the page on Twitch, and started hanging out with her more. And yeah, lovely person, lovely streamer.
That's so nice.
And that's the thing. Like for the big corpo streams, like it's all a numbers game. That's how people look at stuff. Like there was even a thing like a couple weeks back where people were talking about freaking out because their Twitter numbers were dropping, and I was chatting with somebody that does like ASMR content who was commenting on that, and I'm like, yeah, and I don't even get why some of them are upset. Like they're watching the numbers so close, and the dips are so small. People are like, oh my god, I've lost 20 followers. What am I doing wrong? I'm like, nothing. Grow a backbone and deal with it. Stop freaking out about a loss of 20 followers. Why are you watching that closely? Your follower list is like 700 people. Like it's not to say it's sad to see people go, but like why are you watching this like a hawk?
Like it can be very scary though, can't it?
Especially it can be, but also like that first thing that happens is not like that's a pinpoint. It's not the trend. And I was kind of getting that from some people. But anyway, yeah, having that conversation with that ASMR streamer about that and kind of like pushing back on this again. I don't get why they're freaking out. It's a relatively small drop. It's not that big of a deal. I got a follow from her after that. Which is cool. It's badass. And I found her through another ASMR content creator I was watching as well. Like the first one rated the second. I followed the second one on socials, and now they're following me, and it's great.
That's so nice.
Like that's organic growth. You just talk to people.
You mean the thing I struggle now? Well, I didn't used to struggle, but now I struggle with this. I guess I've gotten too comfortable, everybody.
Too comfortable on his throne, yes, Your Majesty.
No. Oh my god. Well, not yet.
I'm teasing you a bit. I'm teasing you.
It's fine. Not yet. But
yeah. So yeah, but in summary, Twitter's a mess. Don't use the default. Blue Sky's cool, and there's a lot of cool stuff about it. Keep doing your research to find all the cool stuff. And keep your eyes open for more streams from people talking about it, because Blue Sky is still very much a frontier social site. People are still learning how to use it and optimize it properly, and like yeah, there's different ways to do it, and there's different things that people want from these sites, and you can tweak them so well and moderate it so effectively that you can really make whatever you're looking for and make it shine, and it's great.
Yeah, you can. That's true.
But yeah, so I think that's about all I had about complaining about Twitter and Blue Sky. Though again, I thought that was funny, the pulling the whole Twitch AI art emote thing into this, and I can't believe VGen roasted them like that. That's amazing. I love that. That's great marketing. But Yeah, the only other thing I was thinking about talking about was like some of our favorite games or things that have happened this year. Well, because we're talking about maybe doing that for another stream some other time. But let's talk about like changes and glow ups that we've had individually for our accounts and stuff. We both have changes and positive things that have happened this year.
Now you're testing my memory. Yeah, I have. Yeah.
Midnight's here. Don't even care about their follow count anymore. About people watching my stream and trying to get partners so you can get more emotes. Exactly. Yeah. Like the follower count is useful for the times when it's essential, and the rest of the time it's just a number, and you can't be a numbers game with content creation. I realize it is, but you can't get obsessed with them. It'll just make you unhappy.
Yeah. Yeah, it will.
So do you want me to start with positive things for me this year?
Sure.
What you think of your list? Okay. Well, obviously, I have you to thank for me finally reaching affiliate this year and being able to use all those nice emotes I purchased a year or two before that. So thank you so much for your help and your community for that. I greatly appreciate it. You started my 2024 off on a really great light, Dan. Continue to be thankful for that.
Stop. No, I cannot take this.
A bit of bad news is that I did have a falling out with the artist that worked on my second generation VTuber model, which is why I am currently up on my third generation on my end. The very nice, well-dressed suit with the pinstripe vest.
Thanks.
And yeah, I'm very happy with this. I've gotten amazing feedback from people, like sharing it with other VTubers and asking for compliments and stuff. Follower count means nothing. It's really the people who stay. Exactly, Midnight. Honestly, the more you care about follower and viewer numbers, the less you enjoy streaming. Exactly, Nova. It's great. Yep.
And a personal example of that is my Stream Deck once had my viewer count on it, and I noticed. Yeah, I know. I noticed that it was. Sorry, I'm just about to disappear because my PNG tuber keeps crashing. It's like so stupid.
Oh no. Your account is 15 years old? Nice.
Let me quickly come on back and I'll continue what I'm saying.
Yeah. It doesn't work. Yeah, sorry, I don't have it as a function. I might not have that bot connected, Midnight.
So as I was saying, yeah, I used to have my Stream Deck used to have like a little icon that would show how many people were watching. And that's how I would gauge like whether I don't know. It started to affect my feelings while I was streaming, and it would get me down when the number was low. So I removed it. I said, look, this is a negative impact on me. I don't need this, and I got rid of it.
Yeah, I've heard that from other big streamers too. A couple of them will. One that I follow, Vividly Vivi, I think she either says don't tell her the count, or when she does look at it, she always chops off the last digit. So she's like, I can't believe we have 20 followers in here, and it's like 200 people, because that's just what makes her happy. Like saying the big number stresses her out, and thinking about the big number stresses her out. It's Stream Elements. I may not have a Stream Elements bot connected, Midnight. I'm sorry. But yeah. So yeah, in terms of growth though, like obviously like my Blue Sky has blown up. I said something the other day about being close to 200. I think I passed 200 followers on Blue Sky, which is good growth. Woo! I am very close to 250 here on Twitch, which is as always positive upward growth for that. Twitter is just kind of whatever it is. I'm not focused on growth there because a lot of it's just bots. And for all the accounts that follow me, other accounts deactivate or delist, so it is what it is. I think I had one account in the last report that I got that I'm like, oh, I care about this, and it's because it's a guy I used to know face to face when that account used to be a face to face account. So like, so yeah, it's one person. So yeah, So yeah, I'm not really watching the numbers, but I am growing in that. I've transitioned away from the second generation model to the new third generation design. I'm gonna have to tweak it a little bit more because the person that did my ref sheet in the summer changed up my hair more than I was enjoying and liking. So I've actually got a commission in for a new PNG avatar with this
Ooh.
outfit model. It's the same guy that did my Persona Vampire one, and I love that model. I love the style he has for that. So having him do one for, I'm really excited what they're gonna do with the suit. And if that goes well, that's probably going to be the basis I'm going to use for a new refs cheat, and then hopefully sometime in probably late 2025, a new Live 2D model for me, an actual proper one. Because I had like the little chibi one that I had last year, and I stopped using that for a little while because I was having issues with it. It was kind of glitchy, and that's still the old design, and I didn't want to keep using it. Because as much as possible, I'm trying to get away from that old design so that I can eventually not list that artist on my channel anymore for the second generation. That's the eventual goal. Because they basically once I change the outfit, they can't really claim anything for the model because I'm like, yeah, brown hairs, blue eyes. The model's based off of me in real life. What you gonna do? Sue me for the hex color code for my hair? Like, come at me, bro. I'd like to see you try.
You'll see me in court. My face, literally next to my face.
And she's not going to. That's not her thing, I don't think. But anyway, it's part of why I'm making the change. But recently, I also got back a pack of emotes. I have new emotes on Twitch with the new suit design. They do have the wrong hair. I'm just calling this my bad hair arc, or my bad haircut arc. So I got 15 new static emotes, and I've got most of them on place on Twitch. I don't have enough slots to fit all of them. I had to put one of them away because I'm still keeping my favorite emote from the old set. Your Tears. Your Tears is still in here. This is my favorite one ever. I love Your Tears.
He's just drinking someone's tears.
It is the ultimate sass for me. I love it. I was like, I can't believe you said that thing, and I was just like, oh, come on, cry some more. I'm thirsty. Oh, I love that one. But no, the new design. I do have 15 new statics, which this is probably my favorite. I have a This Is Fine now out of the ones I have here. But I also got some animated emotes, including a rave emote, a notes emote, and what's the third one? I'm trying to remember. Oh, I have a Christmas Potteroo spin around emote. So here are my 3 animated ones. And right when I uploaded those, thank you very much for the
I think you thirsty.
Thanks for the hydrate.
Right when I uploaded my 3 animated ones, I also realized, hey, wait a minute, I have like other animated slots I'm not using. Plus, I'm about to unlock a new one with like 3 more subscriber points, and that'll also let me put back in the last of the new static emotes. So I have another commission order in for 6 animated emotes. So yeah, more changes coming up.
Ooh, that'll be good.
So yeah, a big push I did in the fall was to kind of get updated with new branding and stuff. So I have a new schedule that was professionally made. I have a new logo that was professionally made. I have these new emotes. I have more emotes coming. So yeah, I'm really doing a glow up arc with the current batch of stuff here. And at some point I'm gonna have to commission somebody to do some new overlays for me that are actually like custom ones. I haven't quite figured out what I want to do and like the vibe I'm going for that, because there's a couple of areas I could go in. So I'm kind of more focusing now on like new art for schedules and thumbnails, and getting those last batch of emotes ready. And then I might start saving for or shopping for a live 2D model in January or February to like get the ball rolling on that, because it'll be months for the model illustration, then months for the rigging. So it'll be summer at the earliest, I imagine, maybe even fall until I get the live 2D ready.
Yeah, it's very time consuming because so much detail goes into it. So yeah. And depending on what you have, it can get very expensive as well. So.
Actually, do I know who did a Potteroo one? I just realized I didn't actually update my panels on Twitch to have the people who did the new emotes. That's
okay, because
you'll that right away. I will do it. I will do it after stream. But I I will look them up and provide that information. Are you really kidding me? There we go, VGen. Sign me in. Update Twitch panels with new emotes. There we go. Info. This was done by 88 Design. They are the one who did all of my emotes and stuff.
Sorry,
grab their VGen page here.
Oh, Rusty just
Yeah,
flopped.
88 Design did basically everything in my current batch of emotes, with the exception of your tiers. That is the only one they haven't done, and I'm probably going to commission them to do that in their style, because I want your tiers and I want an updated version of your tiers, because yes. So I might get them to do a couple of custom ones for me to kind of fill out some of the old ones that I used to have that I don't have in the new system. But yeah, 88 Design, fantastic to work with. They also did my Halloween one, which I didn't use that often. But it is me waking up in a coffin. I have been summoned. But it's cute. I like it. But so yeah, they did that one, and that's kind of how I do a lot of my commissions. Is like they're sort of a test for other work later. Like the person that did my ref sheet for third generation was the person I was considering for doing a model for me, and then the ref sheet was good. I like what they did for the design, but I wasn't so impressed that I wanted them to do the model. So they got one job out of me, and it was a good job. And I know they're a fantastic artist that works great with other people. They just weren't what I was looking for in terms of a style. So yeah, it's a little bit of like that. Like a lot of my commissions are like, let me try you out and see how well you do and how well you take instruction and whether or not you change things or whether or not I have to like drag you back to a design or have problems with you. Because that was a lot of my issue with why I left my second gen artists. Like I had problems with them and they didn't follow instruction, and I would give them like a description of what I wanted, and then I have to go back and change things, and I'm like, I don't really want to deal with that. I want to deal with somebody that gets it right the first time and reads and pays attention.
Yeah, of course. You don't have to be repeating yourself.
Yeah, 88 is fantastic to work with. I've already gotten back the sketches for not the sketches, the statics, I guess I would call them, for my next batch of animated emotes. I have 6 ones coming in, and I've already seen them. And yeah, thank you. Join their waitlist. Hell yeah, Valhalla. They actually have like 2 batches of winter emotes now, for like 24 different animated emotes for winter to do, and they have a couple of like really big ones that are like expensive, like $100 each. But the rest of them I think are like $30 for each animated. But if you buy them packs of 3, it's $75 instead of $90. And then for the statics I forget what they charge if you buy them piecemeal, but if you buy them in a pack of 6 or more, all of them are $10 each. So my 15 static emotes were $150 total for emotes of that quality. And that is a fantastic deal. And they have basically the reason why I went with them and why I was interested is because they kind of have it as like a grid sheet where you go to the grid. You're like, okay, I like A1, A4, B3, B6, C2, and D4. And like they have several image units, the row and the column number. And as long as you give them that info, they have so many that are just your character here. So many people ask you to have my OC as a Padaru. Yeah. I've got a couple of Padaru ones. I don't have a static Padaru, but I did get somebody to make like a static Padaru image that I'm using on Discord now, and I could potentially use that as like an emote if I shrunk it down.
Yeah.
But that's actually a thing I did. I updated my Discord this year too to add like a couple sections for like, here's all of my models that I'm using, here's all of the art that I'm using, and like locking those channels down so people can see them and see this stuff without essentially it's kind of like a section for
crediting the artist.
Yeah, like a credit section.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dan.
Shall I get on to my successes?
Yeah.
This is the problem. I don't remember a lot. There was we hit 600 followers on Twitch. But we also hit 500 earlier this year as well. Big goals reached there. I will quickly say current goal is to reach 666 before the year's through, but it's okay if we don't get there. We moved over to Blue Sky. We oh gosh, what else was there? Tons of really fun collabs. We met some amazing people. I met people I never thought I would ever, and got to know them. Like iRevenge and Soul Sanguine, just some amazing people. Got added to a Minecraft SMP server. That was mind-blowing. Just trying to think of what else we've had this year. We had a really successful donathon, and I still got rewards for those to do. For those that donated.
I mean, obviously, there's the prep work and preparation work for your model and upcoming debut. It's going to happen next year, but all the prep work and stuff that you did this year to get ready for it is a celebration to mention this year, I think.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. I didn't see it that way. I'm very much
Why celebrate once when you can do it twice, Dan?
The 18-month celebration, yes, thanks, Evie. We celebrated 18 months as affiliate. Let's see. Yeah, I getting my final illustration through from Kujimori. Now we're on the rigging phase, which is insane. I should really have a test model version, which is basically going to be like my model minus any toggles, and that will be before the end of the year, so this month, which is crazy. So then you'll start to see. I don't know how to advertise a debut. Okay, and I just keep. It eats me up on the inside. It really stresses me out because I want to hype it up. I want to make it exciting. But at the end of the day, I don't have editing skills. I don't have any kind of apps or programs that I can use to do such a thing. All I can really do is, I don't know, record a video on OBS where I'm in like a black silhouette. That's it. That's all I can think of doing, and that's I don't know. I feel like that's really lackluster, but maybe it'll be enough. I hope for all of you.
Two things I would say to that then. One, I do know for a fact there are people on VGen that do commission specifically for that sort of things. You'd have to jump on it real fast now to get on anybody's list in time, but it's a possibility.
Yeah.
Also, this is your gentle reminder to be kind to yourself. Don't approach this from the prospect of like, oh, what would Iron Mouse do? What would these big VTubers do for this? Like, no need to do that. If it comes out scuffed and a little bit silly and a little bit, not perfect and not polished, neither you nor I are perfect or polished, Dan. Like, we're working on ourselves, even me at my advanced old man age. But like for Persona, I did make a little trailer for that I used a few places, and it's like a minute, and it's just like it was kind of like a quick little thing that I did of exactly what I was going to do for stream that night of like, hey, what's this button do? Oh, is that the new overlays from my Persona 5 stream and the cool badass new model? Is that in fact a second badass new model that I have with all these other cool things and features and new alerts that I have too? Oh, yeah, I went ham on this. Enjoy, everybody. And it's small and it's scuffed, and I had friends like, oh, you should edit it this way and you should do this, and you should change the music so it does this. I'm like, I filmed all of this in OBS. It's a single source. That's not gonna happen. and it's the night before. It's not gonna happen. I'm sorry. And it was what it was, and people liked it.
Yeah. I just
So,
I have high expectations of myself. There are so many ideas I want to do, but whether I achieve them or not is entirely dependent on money, and that's a really difficult area at the moment. So,
money and time, yeah. Which is why I'm kind of like, yeah,
Uh,
like, you know, maybe lower your expectations. Don't be so hard on yourself, because again, you're not going to perform at those high levels because you're still learning, you're still growing. You've been affiliate for 8 to 8 months. You're still a small VTuber. You are still you have yet reached your full potential. And it's there. So,
I don't know if I've at a year and a half. I don't know if I'd say that's. People will be like, "Oh, you have to be a VTuber for like 4+ years to be considered of a high level," and I'm like, "Well, no, because if someone's put hard work in for the past year or so, and is doing like scheduled and everything, you know, getting new models out there, putting on events at certain times of the year, you know, doing
a little silly in this community, like
the gatekeeping is horrible. I hate it. I hate it so much.
So I do have a ping for about 3.5 minutes till the next ad break. Just to, you know, talk shop here for a second. Are we gonna finish up with this section, or are we gonna move? Are we done at this section? Do we have another section you want to talk about after this? Because otherwise, if we're gonna end with this, I'm gonna tap snooze and we're gonna push that down.
I have lost my train of thought completely. And
okay, so we're gonna snooze. I'm gonna snooze my ad break, and I recommend you snooze yours, and then we're just gonna keep talking about how awesome your 2024.
No, we're not gonna. No.
Yes, we are. Sell yourself.
No, I'm not selling. I'm not selling. I don't.
Fine. We're gonna talk about how you need to love yourself and take care of yourself. Fine.
No, I do. That's the thing.
Talking about self-care and love.
I think it's just really difficult this time of year. Like I was saying earlier, like personally, like I experience seasonal affective disorder, right? And that can make this time of year extremely difficult to get through, for some, and for me, it appears in the form of like huge fatigue, low motivation,
overall malaise, yes.
Yeah, dark mood, that kind of thing, and I think I'm starting to enter that phase now. Because it's getting dark, like 2:30, 3 o'clock here in the kingdom, and I hate it. I hate it so much. But there's nothing, of course, we can do about it. Sorry, I got hiccups.
Wait.
Oh, hiccups. They've got me. I understand. Yeah, we have to wait it out, but there are things I am doing. There is self-care I am doing that is helping. And as soon as I wake up, immediately get like daylight on myself, taking vitamin D supplements at my doctor's guidance and monitoring that. You know, vitamin D deficiency on top of that does not help. But
does
we're in
D
the best
stand for
can.
vitamin Dan deficiency or vitamin Draco deficiency?
Vitamin Dan deficiency.
I had to.
Wait, you're a Dan, and I know a half Dan, and I'm a Dan, and then there's also another Dan that half Dan knows. That's 4 Dans. So imagine if it was a Dan, and Dan chat.
Goals for next year.
Goals for next year, yeah. And it'd be really interesting as well, because half Dan's from a different part of the world, in like the Scandinavian countries. I cannot specifically remember which one. Sorry, half Dan, please don't hate me. So it would be really interesting to see what kind of new /gaming drama /VTuber drama is happening over there, because our countries are very closely linked in terms of drama spreading, but I wonder what it's like in Europe.
Yeah, and just the general perspective they have on the industry. 'Cause,
Yeah.
I'm gonna snooze that ad break again.
Oh, mine's not popped up yet, so.
Oh, mine just popped up here.
Oh.
But yeah, no, that'll be good. I just don't know if I want to call it Danapalooza or Dano Royale for like Battle Royale. Probably Danapalooza is better because Battle Royale version is gonna have us all wearing like
Dan.
Oh, actually, that's better. Get something made to look like Dan to Dan.
Come on, dance! Oh my gosh!
I like the way you're thinking, Neon.
Oh my god!
Maybe we'll combine them, caramel Dan to Dan to Dan dancing, and just we have caramel dancing with Dan to Dan. Animate stuff or something.
I think that would actually hurt my brain though. I'd literally be like, half Dan, you ask a question to them, and then you'd be like, half Dan or Dan, and I'll be like, half Dan. Too many Dans. Danception.
But yeah, so starting off the stream talking about bad things that happened in the VTuber space in 2024, there's plenty of them. There's a lot of bad to find if you want to look for it. But there's also plenty of good, and that's kind of what we focused here on the last little bit.
I guess.
Darn right we are.
We try our best to be the good. Into the Danverse. Oh my god. Oh, here we go.
During the cold season, don't bottle up those feelings.
Remember that winter, like all seasons, will pass. Need to change my name to Danova. No, I won't. Okay. Danova. Oh, thanks for sticking around, Nova, and being so supportive. Oh yeah, another good thing that happened. Nova became a mod. Panda became a mod, although he's not really active right now, so I need to have a chat with him about that. Yeah, we got a really strong mod team together. I need to probably clear out a couple who are inactive, or at least have that conversation with them about that.
Yeah. Another positive for me, I got so much art done this year. So much art. I was looking at my VJ commissions the other day, and so much good art.
You mentioned VJ commissions, and I want to load up mine right now. Give me a sec, because I'm pretty sure I've got an update today.
Let me zoom out here.
Let's see. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna send Dan a picture of this because I want to.
What are you sending me a picture of?
These are all my commissions on VJ from this year.
Oh. How many?
There's only one. It's a work in progress. I don't know. I didn't count.
1, 2. I only count mine. 1, 2.
Yeah, art is cool. Darn right, Evie. Check out our socials. Actually, here's a great thing for me. I finally have an art tag. I am Art Deus, which is entertaining because this has been another year of people mispronouncing my name as Deuce or Dews or Do or whatever the hell. So I built an art tag that is with that in mind. So if you say it Art Deus, it's right. If you mispronounce it as Art Dews, it is technically also correct. This is where you're due to put your art.
Oh, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I had fun with that one.
All right. Oh yes. Okay. Cool. Yeah, I actually have a Christmas present for everyone that's going to be coming closer to Christmas. I think when we do our Christmas stream, I'll be able to like show off what I had made for everybody.
Nice.
But yeah.
So I think we've finished chatting as much as we've got to talk about this time. We've been going for about 2 hours. I have a person we both know that we might want to raid into, if you're interested.
Who is that?
Void is doing their Thankmas 2024 Day 3 event. Special holiday happy event. They are being cute space bean as they often are. Void, who we met through the VTuber speed dating.
You
thing
mean
in
might?
grade.
Might to the Void, is that who you mean?
No, Void Star official.
Oh, Voids. Okay. I don't know too many Voids.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't catch the Dotlo. That's sad. Oh well.
Oh wait, no, wait. They're resuming at 8:30 p.m. tonight for the finale, so they are not actually here. They are just only sleeping. So that's not a good raid.
No sleeping streams.
Yeah.
Wake up! I don't see the point in doing sleeping like streams.
I don't much get it either, but sometimes it's just a big event and people want to do it. Although
Who
that's
else
the
you
only
got?
person I knew. That was my one and only one for like that we both knew.
Yeah, but who else you got? I'm happy to experience somebody new.
Let's see here. Gonna match the
Thank you
vibe.
for being here, Midnight.
Thank you as well, Midnight.
Oh,
Let me see who's a good person to. We can do the person at the top. I think you know this person.
maybe.
Kirk, who does a bunch of like pixel art.
Can you
They're
send
a
that
friend
link?
of, Sora. Send the link.
Maybe I do. I don't know. I'm just gonna check that there's not.
In its own little browser thing here. But yeah, they are doing pixel art currently, and there we are.
Am
So
I
here's the
not?
full link. But yeah, they do pixel art. They're a friend of Sorath, who we also met through the speed dating thing. So, yeah, they're a good person. Looks like they're working on pixel art for somebody right now.
Sorry,
And they're only about
loading.
50 minutes in, so.
Just loading this stuff.
Okay.
I must scout them out. Oh.
So, nice cozy stream. We don't want to jump into somebody that's like super high energy and stuff. But
Thanks for this.
Thanks for the collab.
Oh.
yeah, thanks
Yeah.
for the Nova.
Yes. Sorry, I got excited because I know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to word this, so I'm just gonna send it to you in a message.
Okay. It depends on what the vibes we're going for are. There's a lot of other people playing like action games,
That's okay.
but not anybody that I'm super close to.
Well,
No, that was...
it's an opportunity to become close to them. Weren't you saying that yourself?
good, but I don't know. I feel I have a sort of like informal set of rules in our raid out of trying not to do too much, like go
Okay.
like too high or too low for things.
That's fine. We can always raid separately. There's nothing forcing us together.
Okay. All that.
Yeah.
I should probably get that raid started because I have used up all 3 of my ad pauses.
Oh no. Okay.
Yeah.
Nova, could we get a raid message, please? Lovely Nova.
I'm curious how this is gonna work with the combined chat.
Thanks, Nova. I can end shared chat at any time.
Might be a good idea for this so that we don't accidentally like drag people in two directions at once.
Okay, shared chat is off.
Okay.
And with that, everybody, let us go raid out. I'm just gonna choose someone.
But thank you all for joining us again, everybody. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your mornings, afternoons, evenings, nights, wherever it is in your part of the world.
Yes. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you. Well, we together, Dan and Dan, will see you in the new year.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.